Welcome to It's Time for Yarn. Today I have a very special introduction for you guys. This past weekend my husband and I got a new puppy. This is Vanna. She is a Boykin Spaniel just like Victoria was. If you're not sure who Victoria is, in my very first yarn haul, she's laying on the couch in the background. She was our Boykin Spaniel that we unfortunately had to put down last October. There's a short video on that if you care to watch it. But we had already had plans to get a second Boykin Spaniel right about this time. And when Victoria passed, we ended up taking in Kiki, who she had kind of been neglected at the home she was in, and it was a gentleman that a gentleman that my husband worked with was like, hey, I have this pointer that I don't have time for. Do you want her? You just have her. And we're like, okay, sure. And so we've really enjoyed having Kiki Vaughn, and now we have Vanna D. I'm still playing around with her middle name. I'm not really sure if I like D. I don't know. I like the play on words like vanity, but vanity kind of has a negative connotation, so I'm not really sure if I like it. I've kind of been calling her Vanna Deanna, like when she's misbehaving, being a puppy, and we're having to correct her. But for the most part, she is super sweet and rambunctious and just all the puppy things. So we are excited. We are excited to have her, and can't wait to be able to train her to bird hunt. That's why my husband likes Boykin Spaniels. He is a bird hunter. We have lots of dove in the area, and during dove hunting season, he used to take Victoria and he would shoot birds, and she would go and retrieve them for him and bring them back from the field. And he'd come home and he'd wrap them in bacon and put him on the grill, and it was delicious. But so he's excited to have another Boykin to do that. We tried to train Kiki Vaughn. She's a German short-haired pointer, and she's also a bird dog that's supposed to retrieve, but she just had a really tough puppyhood, and so she has a lot of anxiety, and she's just a lover. She's just a puppy now. She's just a pet. She the person who trains dogs is like, they were too hard with her, and so now she gets really anxious when she's asked to perform, and so he's like she'll never be a hunter. So right now she just hunts in the yard, chases the birds in the yard and the cats, and has a good old time running around all of our property. It's been really fun to see these two interact. We were a little nervous that Kiki would be jealous or that she would be too rough, because Kiki, she's kind of like a bull in a china shop. Love her to death, sweetheart dog, but she does not know her own strength. She doesn't know that her paws are rough. She doesn't know that her mouth is hard. She doesn't get it. So we're working with her on that. But she has just been so kind and so sweet to Vanna. And so I'm excited to see Vanna get bigger and be able to play more with Kiki. They do roughhouse. They kind of like play tug of war with little toys and stuff. There was the second day that we had Vanna, one little moment that Kiki was a little too rough, and it scared Vanna. She let out a cry and kind of whimpered for a minute, and Kiki did not like that. She was upset. Like, oh no. So she's really been a lot more careful with Vanna since that moment. So they've been getting along great. It's so cute to watch them play. But I named her Vanna because I like V names for my pets. We had Vincent, he was a cat. I had a black cat. We had, hey Vita, you're not supposed to be in here, but hello dear. We have Vita. I have Viviola. We had a dog named Vasco. We had Victoria. And so now we have Vanna and Kiki Vaughn. She came with the name Kimber, which is a fine name, but it just didn't fit for us. And so I shortened it to Kiki. But I wanted her to have a V name like the rest of our animals. So her middle name is Vaughn. So that's just a fun little thing that I like to do with my pets. She has the V name Vanna, but also an interesting fact that I didn't know until we went to pick her up. She's from South Carolina. Her breed is the state dog of South Carolina. That's where they're from. That's where they were developed, and so that's where we like to get them. You can get a Book and Spaniel in other places, but my husband wanted to go to the source, so that's what we did. And the kennel where we got her, we were telling them, oh, we named her Vanna, and they're like, oh, that's so cool. Vanna White is actually from this area. She's only from like 50 miles away. We're like, what? And of course I Google it, and she's from North Myrtle Beach, which is about 50 miles away from where we got Vanna, our Vanna. And so I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that connection. And then also the crochet community knows Vanna's connection to us, and so I just love Vanna White. I grew up watching her in Wheel of Fortune, and it's just, she has a special place in my heart. So I named my dog Vanna, and I cut up sometimes and call her Vanna Brown instead of Vanna White because she's a little brown dog. But her registered name is Lock Haven's Letter Turner, after Vanna White, but we call her Vanna. So anyway, thanks for joining me, and let me introduce you to my new little baby, who you'll probably see in the background of other videos. Always remember, no matter what time it is, it's always time for yarn.